Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy Podcast with the Traders, thanks to Sportsbet.
G'day, we're the Traders. I'm Warnie, coach of the Warn Dogs. And Calvin,
Coach of Calvinator. A bit of a different start today, Warn.
It's a little bit hard because Destroy's not here. We wish him all the best in his endeavours at the moment.
Tirakata.
What's that?
Tirakata is Indonesian. Because I'm multilingual, I sometimes get confused with the English language. So, yeah. Tirakata basically means not here, not present.
Oh,
so,
right, okay.
Well, anyway, yeah, so he's not here. But that's okay. We'll soldier on. We've done a little bit of work around him now.
We have. We've probably done more work than we normally would, Calvin.
Yeah, well, we thought...
You especially.
We're only 66.6% here today. So I thought we'd better dig deep.
No, he is here. We do have his green vest here because he did cop the green vest this week. So he scored 20.93. I'm not going to cheer too much, though. I was only 13 points better than that.
Oh, geez.
I slid in the rankings. But you slid in the rankings as well, Cal.
I did. About 100 spots. Yeah, not
You're still
good,
around that 1,500
but
mark.
it's the time of the year when you want to be progressing, dog.
Yes.
Not going backwards.
Yes.
And it's we come out of the buys, we were feeling pretty good about ourselves.
Yep.
And we're like, here we go. Yep. We're going to charge it home here. And we slid. Anyway, a few people let us know on Twitter, though, which is always greatly appreciated.
Fantastic to hear that. Anyway, that's what it is. All right, we must have had some good stuff on the weekend.
Here it is! That's what you did, Jenny. You stuck it right up them.
All right, Thursday night even. We record all our stuff. We do our live show on Thursday night. And sometimes, with a Thursday night game, we do our round preview video, letting people in behind the curtain here in our bloody fantastic office here at UTAS Stadium. Is that it might be in the first quarter that we're recording the video that goes up on the AFL website that night.
Oh, yes.
Just before it bang on that to record that, Lockie Neal, that shoulder, it looked bad. It looked so bad.
If people out there can think about what Warnie's dimples looked like, this was reverse dimples.
I thought, I bought him in the week before, so I didn't buy him this week, which is a few people were thinking about doing that. But
you were
O'Connor tag. There was
the
a risk.
grumpiest.
You would be as well.
Not as grumpy as you.
Oh, mate. It was devastating to see that. But then, why he gets the +3. So he had 25 points at half-time.
Yep.
And then finished on 106. And
that was a big comeback.
Is why I've got him in my team, because he can score like that. So, yes.
Have you heard the rumours, though?
What's that?
Rested this week.
Oh, well, he could be. That is an absolute possibility there. So
not going to send him over to Adelaide, are they?
Of course they would.
It's pretty nice.
He was right. So it was only, let's just call it a stinger in the end. Surely he would be right.
Yeah,
he did look in a fair bit of pain. Anyway, he played out the game, so he gets my +3. Right. Calvinator, where's yours going?
I was going to give mine to Big Boy McElroy for another ton. Another ton.
It's actually, I'll tip my cap to you.
Yeah.
That has been a very good pick this year.
Yeah, he's been amazing. He's had a couple of 40s at the start.
He did.
But
and
he's
we were laughing.
McElroy's going right. But Zach Merritt, top scorer of the round, 153.
Now, why wasn't he a captain option for us?
He was a captain option.
Well, why wasn't he better than my bloody VC and Aaron Hall and then my Tim Taranto?
I've gone the extra kilometres this week with captains because I'm out of form.
You actually are out of form with your captain.
And that's the thing you need to realise about captain selection. You got to realise when you are out of form.
Yes.
So back to the drawing board, and I have.
You actually were here about an hour earlier than you normally are.
Yeah, it was bloody cold too. I'll give you a tip.
It's still cold. It's not hard.
When you get here, turn the heaters on. No?
I do, because I'm here an hour before you as well.
Right.
I did turn it on. I reckon they're frozen over.
She's fresh.
Bloody fresh. How many degrees does it say at the moment, Cal?
No, I love it.
7 degrees.
I always look at the feels like.
Feels like. Well, that makes more sense. I don't know what.
I don't need to know what another number is. Just tell me what it feels like. So she's very fresh out there.
We're not here for Jane Bunn's weather report, though.
No.
It was the most disgraceful display I've ever seen.
Because it's just not acceptable.
All right.
Are you going?
I've had enough.
You start.
I've had enough of this fella, and he can.
It's round 15, Cal.
I'm talking Tom Phillips.
Yes, I
Do
know.
not let the door hit your ass on the way out, Tom.
He goes for me this week too.
Oh, my. 51, and I actually saw nearly every one of his points. I was like, geez, he looks busy out there.
We couldn't have got this more wrong.
It's
But
terrible.
everyone did.
Everyone, but
we're all-
hopefully people have offloaded him by now because I think he even kicked a goal in that.
You're trading him before some of the rookies as well, I think, at the moment. That's what it
Mate,
feels like.
he had 12 touches and a goal.
Yeah, that's ugly.
He's got to go.
Not good.
Got to go.
Same score, but he's not getting traded. It's Tom Stewart after being
my goodness.
the prince of perfection
Yeah.
the week before, taking all those marks. Shocking. So it was. He just actually didn't play very well.
They put a bit of attention into
They
him,
did.
though.
That was the thing, and I think he wasn't. Well, just got to be freed up to do those things
Yeah.
that we like about him taking those grabs. And
Well,
all that.
hopefully, Suki Scott comes up with a bit of a plan in case this happens again.
Well, let's hope so. There were a few interesting other tidbits out of the weekend, and one of those was
Would you call
Brodie-
them tidbits? What's that?
Haven't you heard that before?
Never heard that before.
Oh, right. There you
Okay.
go. You're not very educated, though.
No, obviously not.
Brodie Grundy came back.
Oh, yes.
118.
He looks.
We'll talk about him a bit more
I
shortly.
know he's had a
but
haircut, but he looks sharp.
He
looks
good.
sharp.
He needed those couple of weeks off,
Yep.
and he's ready to roll. One of the things, we mentioned this in our video earlier today. If you haven't checked that out on afl.com.au. But the amazing return of Nick Newman. Omitted.
Yeah, I know.
From the team.
He's done it
People
again.
are trading him out, and he's going back in, goes back in as the sub, gets on because Mark Murphy's hurt himself, scores 111, and did that in, 60% time on ground it was, so huge. He's an option. to
He is an
actually bring
option.
in.
11 marks.
Because we
And
know that's how he can score.
with Colton's run home, it is a
500.
legit option.
Yeah, that's
very much.
Definitely. And then the other one was the sub there of... actually, with the thing with Newman, in 2017 it was, he was one of the cash cows of the year. Like, we're pretty keen on him. Then he got dropped by Horse, and Horse goes, see ya. And he ended up... What did he do? He was omitted... Missed the next week. So some people trade that first week that he was omitted.
Yep.
The second week, because he was actually still omitted, and people are going, oh, well, now 2 weeks in a row if you're not getting back in that team. So, yeah, a late inclusion that weekend and scored 135. Amazing. Well, let's see. The other one, though, is Leo Connolly. So he is the Saint who came in as the... medical sub, who wasn't the medical sub initially because Jack Billings was a late out. That was one of those late outs that happened just before the bounce type thing. And then he came on in 30% time on ground, got a 53. So I hope he's going to be available for this
He
week.
is the most traded in player as we speak.
Is he?
He is, Warren.
Wow.
Yes. People liked what they saw.
Well, let's hope that Rats likes what he saw and
that's
keeps him
it.
in the side because he was he was the 24th man.
Yeah.
At selection.
Yep.
So, anyway, we'll see how we go with that. All right, let's get into this.
Now here's Warnie with breaking news.
All right, a few little news tidbits, Cal.
Tidbits.
Came out of the weekend. Oh, you're doing that again. Why are you doing that? I don't know why it does that. I need to fix that.
Because you said tidbits. And I thought you were saying swear words, so I was just going over the top of it.
Lucky deal, that shoulder. So that's one, I guess, to monitor.
That's season. That's a
Well,
season.
I thought it was at the time.
Okay, so did he just carry on?
Yeah, it was a good carry-on. It was reminiscent of your brother.
Yep. We do ankles. He, Neil,
Sydney's
though,
Moses.
he was standing on the mark at one point and only had one arm up.
Yeah.
And his other arm was too sore to even put up. And then
He'll be right. He's a warrior. He scored 80 and a half, Cal.
He did.
He's going to be fine.
Yes.
Noah Bolter on Friday night. So he hurt his knee, but then they've said that it's syndesmosis. So he's having surgery there.
Yep.
So that's all happening for him. Broad, syndes as well.
Oh, no.
And Flostone hurt his leg as well in that game. So their backstocks are down.
Yeah, just big
a
time.
bit. So the old Tigers going to win the flag this year, are they?
Don't write him off, dog.
Don't write him
Don't
off.
write him off.
Can't write him off. Also in that game, Nick Caulfield did his hamstring, so he was actually the late inclusion for Billings. So,
Right.
And that's what brought old mate Connolly onto the ground. Now, Fife was a laid out on Saturday, Arvo, with that shoulder that's kept him out the last couple of weeks. So, but he's good to go, apparently, for round 16. So, draft owners, that's me. Hopefully he is all good for next week. Out of that game too, Tabernar did his calf and McCreary a hammy. Luke Ryan copped a bit of a knock to the head in the game.
Okay.
And he went through. Well, he didn't go through the concussion protocol, so he should be all right.
Oh.
There's been questions about it.
Okay.
So fingers crossed he'll be all right.
That
But
is
he
a
came back
question.
on the ground.
Okay.
So, the cannon.
The cannon.
The
broken cannon.
with his shoulder. Denver Granger Barras in his debut was concussed, so he won't play his second game, sophomore game. Cal.
Okay.
You know that word?
Yep. Very familiar.
Well, you lived in America for a while.
I
They
did
use
live
that
there
word.
for a while.
You were a teacher
local.
in America.
I was.
Local, in Atlanta.
Yep, that's where I was.
All right. Now, Chad Wingard, he hurt his hammy. He was subbed out. Apparently, it was only tightness, though.
Don't know about that, dog.
Clarkson said, so that's one there. Gardner from the Dogs hurt his shoulder. Bont got a bit of a stinger on his shoulder. I was watching that, and I thought,
Okay.
but he's a warrior.
He's
If someone
so
is a
good.
warrior,
He's so good.
Going to win the Brownlow medal.
Yes,
this
he
year,
has
I think.
to.
He'll be in our conversation again later. And Mark Murphy, he hurt his calf. So he's just in and out of that team, whether it's on form or injury now, as he tries to limp himself towards 300 games. All right, let's look at this.
You see what's new, Mr. Magoo. Oh, Magoo, you've done it again.
Just a couple of scores from the Magoo's Cow, because I know that
I love the
you,
Magoo's
you
news.
switch off this segment.
I
When
do.
you're listening to the podcast back, you hit that little skip button.
Yep.
Constable had 151.
Whoa.
43 disposals there for the Cats. Interesting story about the Cats.
Yeah,
Do
on
you
the trade table.
Well, he will be.
Yeah.
I think he could be an option for us. in
Yep, agree.
22.
He just needs to find a new team.
does. Crows.
Oh, they'll take anyone, mate. Don't worry about that.
Sire had 106. Rantowl, 91, is still floating around there in the Magoos with McRae an 81. Now, Ned Reeves, Cal.
Yep.
Might take big boy out of the side, will he?
Oh, highly doubtful,
So he had
dog.
a ton, 35 hit-outs and a goal. Nathan Jones was the medical sub on Saturday night, and he scored 128 on Sunday when he played. Wiedemann had 113, and then Big Ben Brown kicked 5 goals and 106, so they might mix some things up with their big boys in the forward line there. Sinclair for the Swans had 151, but they roll with it. The only issue with that, could they bring him in for our boy Amadi?
Oh.
Cow.
And for those people who...
Because he rucked a fair bit, Amadi.
He did. A lot of people got him on the field.
Yes.
And a lot of people...
Yes, sadly. God, he should have been my -3.
Well,
that was not good.
No, but he's a rookie still. That's okay. Now, where does he sit on your field?
R2.
Oh, my... What?
Yeah, but that's changing this week.
R2.
Talk about that a little bit later.
Okay, wow. I'd like to know how you're going to fix that disaster.
It's going to be a disaster fixing it.
Oh, dear.
Tom Green, who was dropped, he had 121 with 35 disposed for the Giants. Your mate Worrell.
Oh, Worrell.
Where's
What's
he sitting for you?
He's on...
D8.
He's utility, mate. He's that far out of the team.
So he had a 90. Could he come back in?
Mate, no, he's not coming back in.
What did he score? 16.
16 he did, yep.
In his debut. Hutchings had 126.
Okay.
He's in some great waffle form
He
at
is.
the moment. Luke Edwards.
Yeah.
Issues, I reckon.
I agree.
I think he will be out of that side.
So do I.
So whether that's Hutchings coming in or not, because O'Neill was pretty good in the waffle and stuff, but I think that Edwards didn't put his hand up as well as he did those first couple of weeks.
Well, he scored 32.
Yes.
And they got slapped up by 50.
Yep.
So there is going to be some changes.
A whipping boy.
And I know when coaches look at selecting their team, they go straight to the fantasy
Down the
score,
bottom.
straight down the bottom. Lowest scorer, 32. You had 5 kicks, mate. Not good enough. Out.
Right. Witho had 96, so he might find himself back in the side at some point. But Roy's not here.
No.
So we thought we would go behind his back
Yeah.
and spend a bit of time doing some work.
Now, I'll let you know, if you guys ever went behind my back to do captain work,
You'd be very
I
grateful.
would be very filthy, dog.
You'd be grateful of it, I reckon, and the punters would be too, because they might get good captains. No, we thought what we would do is to give ourselves some content.
Yeah.
Because we're going to work some stuff out
Well,
here to talk
this is
about.
what people are looking at here heading home.
Yes.
You know, you want people will look at their team and they go, my team's finished. It's never finished. Your
Yeah.
team's never finished. You're always adjusting it. That's why you got your 2 trades.
So what we look at is Roy's rolling 22, which has lots of criteria.
Yeah.
We made our own criteria up.
Yeah.
I would say that It's a tough job that Roy's got.
It is hard to do.
It's not that.
So we're
like,
gonna
you got to go and click on. You got to click
highest averaging
players,
Yep.
and then
That's what I did. All right, so we're going to go.
Started.
We're just going to see how we're different.
Okay, so yeah, we'll see how we're different.
Yep.
Do you want to read yours out? Did you do it in order? I hope you did.
Oh, I sort of did.
You sort of did. Oh, well, I did mine in order. Let's see how we're looking. I'll go through my back line, my top 6.
Okay.
I'm going to go Laird.
Yes.
Oh, no, sorry. I'm going Whitfield, Laird.
Yep.
Sorry. Whitfield, Laird, Crisp, Mills, Hall, and then... this is really tough.
Hang on, because we're exactly the same so far.
In the same order?
Oh, roughly. Close enough.
Because you didn't do an order.
Close enough to it, dog.
Throw a blanket over him. Okay. Lloyd.
See, I don't have Lloyd there.
No, and I don't love it. I don't know who my 6 is.
He scored 57 on
I
the
know,
weekend.
and that's what sits next to your head when you're going, if you hadn't have had that.
Okay, my
probably would have
6th
been.
person then that I have ahead of Lloyd, and it feels dirty, but I have Daniel Rich.
Oh, yeah?
Right.
No, then this is what needs to happen with
Just
these rollings
because
at times.
Just because they've got an amazing run home.
Right.
He's averaging more than Lloyd.
Yes.
Okay, so
That's
he's
incredible.
averaging 97. I think over the next, the run home, the next 6, 7, 8 weeks, he's going to get a boost on that.
And that's right. And that's why, so the bloke that got in there, the bloke that just missed out from from Lloyd was Doherty for me, who's got an amazing run as well.
Yes, agree.
And that was nearly my thinking there. But Doherty just hasn't really hit.
I can see now why Roy's so reactionary.
Oh, yes.
Because Tom Stewart could be there.
Would have been there. He had 120 last. If we did this last week, Tom Stewart would have been in there.
100%.
He would have been.
Isaac Cumming. His last 4 weeks.
Well, you're not trading him out. That's the thing.
No. And in a way, if you've held on to this line,
Yes.
and so you should, there's no reason at all why you would have offloaded him, especially in the last 6 weeks.
Last few weeks, yeah.
He's on fire. He'd be going at like 100 and nearly 110, I would say, in the last 4 weeks.
Now, Smokey, I was thinking putting in there was Braden Maynard.
Okay.
Last couple of weeks have been good, and if you looked at how the Pies went on the weekend, they were getting their basically getting their game back together of fantasy scoring. Like they scored 1,700 plus points, even though they lost.
And Chris Main's another one too.
Oh yeah,
he turned up again.
Mainstaker, he'd be awesome.
So yeah, well, dog, okay,
right. So basically, if I'm thinking about it now, I think it might be Doherty for me.
Okay,
and then you've got Rich.
I'll stick with Rich. I'll still stick with Rich.
All right, midfield.
Okay.
I'll go with my order.
Okay.
McRae.
Right.
Tom Mitchell. Zach Merritt. Yep.
Okay.
I'm going Bont at 4. Jack Steele at 5. Touk Miller at 6.
Geez, that's low.
I know it is. It's probably disrespectful.
Very.
I think the big reason for it is just sons.
Okay.
Is my big thing. Clayton Oliver. And then number 8 was a tough one here as well, like picking the worst of my top 8. I'm backing in Tim Taranto just because of everything he'd done in the past.
Okay, so we're the same.
Despite.
Except I don't have Steele.
Don't you?
No,
Why not?
He's knocking on and I don't have Oliver. You're obviously... haven't seen what he's done.
I know, and that's the thing. I think you guys have... He hasn't turned up for 3 weeks, I think.
He hasn't turned up for, at least a couple. And no, so I have Steele and Oliver out.
Right. So who gets in there?
Parrish has to be there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, he does. I probably was
averaging...
This was a bit of my head going, oh, you blokes.
No.
Parrish, I don't want
averaging
to be
122 since round 5.
Yeah. Amazing.
Okay. He needs to be in there.
Yeah.
The other one I've got in is, and it's a little bit of a smoky, is Jared Lyons.
Yeah, and he was in the mix there. Had to be.
Disappointing this week, I think, was his score, but...
God, it is reactionary, isn't it? You look at that last score and you go, jeez.
Yeah, but, once again, he has a great run coming home.
Yeah.
So, I think, from this point, he would be one of the top 8 scoring midfielders. But then again, I've been so disrespectful to Jack Steele, once again, who's just a little... He just gets pushed out of these things.
Right, so what have you got then? Your real differences there?
Okay, so the real difference was you had Steele and Oliver, and I have Lyons and Parrish.
Yeah. I think you're probably more right.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Of course. Rucks. Oh, well, Grundy and gone. That order.
No.
Grundy's better than Gone.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
You've lost your mind. Just because he's got a new haircut.
Grundy will score more than Max Gone for the rest of the year.
That's not true. Incorrect. Anyway,
it's a toss of a coin. They're the best two, and what you need both of them because that gap is bigger than I reckon it has been in the last few years.
I had someone there in the mix.
Did you?
Yeah.
Not Riley O'Brien.
No.
Oh, who?
McAvoy. Oh, sorry, I said it wrong. McElroy.
Well, he could actually be one of your defenders.
He's knocking on the door, dog.
He could be.
Yeah. 100 turned up last week, dog.
Oh,
don't know if I haven't mentioned that yet.
No.
Right. Forwards.
Forwards, right. Order of this will be interesting.
Okay. I'll just quick scan of mine. Yep. Happy with the order.
And I'm thinking about this going, that recency bias. Dane Zorko, number one.
Has to be number one.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yes.
I had the 140 there, draw, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
I've got Kelly at 2.
Agree.
Then I'm going, your mate, Paddy D.
Oh, mate, he doesn't even make my list.
Doesn't he?
Nah.
Doesn't he?
Nah.
So I've got Paddy D at number 3.
Okay.
Then I have got Hunter at 4.
Wow, okay.
Pendles at 5. And side bottom at 6.
Okay.
Side bottom and Pendles could be interchangeable with that.
No love for Langford.
Yeah, he's been very good. He's in that next group.
Coming off, what was he going? 104.
114 on the weekend.
Yeah, 104 in his last 3.
Yeah. Good player.
Great player. I think you've knocked him. I don't have in that list. What about Zeeble?
Yeah, I just can't have Zeeble.
He doesn't have mine. He doesn't make mine either. So I have, in that list there, I have Langford instead of Dangerfield.
Right.
Where do we sit on Dangerfield?
Come on.
Where do we
Your
sit
hate with him is
No, it's
just...
not. It's not that. He stuffs it up every year.
Yeah.
Right? And what did he score on the weekend? 90-odd. Is he back? Is he back to what he's supposed to be doing?
And that could have been a much bigger score than that because he did slow down a lot in the last quarter and whatever.
Okay.
I think he had in the 80s at three-quarter time kind of thing.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah,
He's
but
value.
nah.
Well, took some value players.
We are going to look at some trades in a little bit here, dog. And he is value, I agree. But I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable.
Anyone else there in the mix for you? Forwards were pretty tight there.
They were.
At the end.
And they drop off very quick.
I think both defenders and forwards did a little bit like that. I guess who you comfortable with as well. That's like because Aaron Hall, we could have had him forward or back.
Yeah.
We chose to go back. Well, rolling 22.
The rolling 22 not done correctly, I might say.
No.
Roy does it with a little bit more confidence.
He does.
We're just sort of throwing
Roy's
names.
never wrong.
No,
whenever he does things.
But what we're about to look at next, dog, are these trade targets.
Are we? All right. We'll get into those.
Hi, it's Nat Edwards. AFL Daily is a new daily podcast from the AFL. Each morning, Damien Barrett and I will share the biggest stories and the biggest opinions in footy. We'll connect the dots and tell you what the stories mean for your clubs and your favourite players. AFL Daily, your new daily footy habit. Available wherever you listen to podcasts.
All right. Trade targets. So, it'd be nice to try to get those rolling 22 players. However, I think it's a season for it, and if you've got crap teams like us, you want value.
We're going to start in defence, and we're not going to start with value first because we're going to look at. So we're looking at, for example, Lockie Whitfield. We've just said then he's going to be the highest scoring defender.
Yep.
At the moment, he's still, I'm going to say, cheap for what he can do.
772.
Yeah, but dog,
he's a must-have.
He's a must-have. So he's gone 123, 119 in his last two. He's got a break even of 100. So he will be over 800K, and he will then be the most expensive defender. Okay. At the moment, he sits just behind Mills and Laird.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not saying, yes, he's a massive bargain, but if you're going to have the number one defender, then now is the time to do it.
Well, you're picking him ahead of Mills and Laird, aren't you?
Yes, and you need him. Anyway, so looking at cheaper guys.
He's the number one ranked.
That's
Both of us did it.
Exactly
amazing.
Right. Jared Haynes. Nick Haynes. Jared Haynes.
Right. Old Hainesy.
Oh, so he's still really, really cheap at 556.
Yeah, Roy jumped on him last week. He actually went him over the Pendles option that he's been spruiking all week.
But it was the right call. He's got a break even of 43.
Yep.
He has averaged 90 like in his last 5, and he's gone up 44k this week alone. So he's going to skyrocket up in price.
Yes.
You haven't missed the boat.
No, 556.
You definitely haven't missed the boat, nor have you missed the boat on Newman.
No. So can you trust it, though?
No, you can't.
Well, I think you can. Surely if you played like that.
500. So he's
And
only,
they won.
He's
They
the
beat your
same.
Crows.
Yeah, he's the same price as Haynes, coming off that 11 marks, 111 in very limited game time.
Yeah.
That's what he can do. However,
Carlton have got a good run.
is he in their best team?
I think he has to.
He's a whipping boy for them.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to do much before they go.
He's playing every game from here on.
Do you think so?
Has to.
Why?
Because he's proven that he can get the ball, and that's what half the Carlton side haven't been able to do.
So he's really, really
The
cheap
marks
then.
were massive. That's a big thing there.
Yep.
That does.
Well, they obviously
Which
wanted
is
in
what
his
Haynes
hands.
is doing as well. So
Yeah. But yeah, so they are both around the same price.
Who would you pick? Haynes over Newman?
100%.
Yep.
You?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So it'd be interesting though, because if Newman is back, then that is so cheap
Yep.
at that price. And let's remind ourselves, he didn't even play. He only played just over half a game.
Yeah.
So, man, if he's back there doing what he's done, and he's done that before, he can do that.
Now let's go in the midfield, and I'm going to go cheap options.
Okay.
Let's start with, this is super cheap, is Jeremy Sharp. So he's at 251k.
Okay.
Picked him up this week.
Oh, well done.
Thanks, Kays, from the Keeper League, who put that on the radar on Thursday night. I got, better investigate that a little bit more. Good option.
Is he on your ground?
Yes.
What?
Well, he needs to be.
It's round 15,
You'll probably
dog.
still have a Marty on your field this week as well.
I love him, Marty.
So I will, so he's the great option. Scored 79, had 8 marks, basically playing the wing. So the issues with getting him in is a bit of that job security thing. He just signed a 2-year deal that week for
Okay.
him. It was his first game of the season. It was putrid last year when he played. But he's averaging over 100 in the VFL. Spot on the wing is pretty much what he was running. They've got Swallow to come back this week.
Yep.
But Weller's still out for a little bit longer.
Do you want a flag?
Without Hammy. Yeah.
He's not playing North Melbourne every week.
No, well, that's another factor as well, I guess.
He had 8 marks and 0 tackles.
He's a winger.
You get dropped for that
Just
sort of
get it.
stuff.
Nah, he'll be fine. So, good option there. The other one is, too, as we mentioned, with Leo Connolly. He's got the defender mid status at 189k. So, obviously watching selection for that, but I think they play on Sunday this week. So, that's another little, I guess, flag or a weight that you'll see, because old Sharpie, he plays Thursday night. So, you'd have to make that move before that game started. All right, some other options that you like. You wrote down Brad Crouch.
I like Brad Crouch.
4%.
4%, and his price is getting up there now, so he's up to 767, but he's averaging 109 in his last 5 and 119 in his last 3.
Yeah.
He's back to being good Brad.
Yep.
Okay, so he is so cheap based on those numbers.
Yeah.
However, okay, what about my boy Gaff?
He's getting cheap.
Mate, he's nearly 100.
Could you do it?
He's nearly 100k less than Brad Crouch. He's down to 678. And I walked in here today feeling so much better that I didn't have to talk about head tilt.
And you come in here and you put him on the bloody trade-in options.
You're not bringing him in. He's gone like back-to-back 70s.
Yeah.
Okay, is there going to be
a couple of weeks' time?
He's going to be... He'll have a 5 at the front of his price.
He won't get that low,
Mate,
really.
I don't know. He could drop a lot more than what he is at the moment. He's scoring 70s. And then we're going to look at that and go, well, that's a dead set bargain.
Now, Taylor Adams, he was fine. He was more than fine, but he is a cheaper premium option.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably in that mix in that top 8 midfielders, realistically.
Yep. So he is about 40k less than Brad Crouch.
Yeah.
So it's 723, 116 last week. He looked awesome.
There's the body risk.
Can
with
you trust him,
obviously.
though?
Yeah, that's the thing. And it's a little bit like Lockie Neal's around that price too, which I think if he hadn't have banged up his shoulder, he probably was the number 1 target this week.
He was mine. He was on the radar for me.
So if he had a 106 next to his name that he'd scored and... Yeah.
Great run home, but that shoulder now means you can't bring him in.
Can't you?
I don't think you can.
Okay.
Unless they come out and say there was nothing wrong with it, it was just a stinger.
Yep.
But the way he played out that game, You know, like, would you say he had in the second half?
80 points, 81 points if you want to be exact with it, Al.
So maybe we're jumping at shadows there. Maybe you can bring in Lachie Neale this week.
You don't think he's going to Adelaide?
Well, I made that up. Just try to raise you up a bit.
All right, in the rucks, obviously we talked about our two big boys, and that is Gawn and Grundy. Grundy before Gawn, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so Grundy, he's back. If you don't have him, most coaches traded him. That's the thing. I'll say, most coaches will say, people in the top part of the competition did that. Well done to anyone that held. The traders team held him.
Of course they did.
Out this week, probably because I forgot to do trades that week.
Yep.
Anyway, it's he is a must-have. 118 he scored. He didn't basically drop any coin, really, because he was about the same thing. He dropped 5K, maybe it was. And he's got a break-even 124, which you can forget about.
Yep.
Because I think he's not getting low. He's staying around that 790 price. So, things to think about with him. You've got people, the moves they would have made to Riley O'Brien, who had a 90. So, but he's probably 20 points worse than him.
Yeah, agree. He is.
So to make that upgrade would be nice to do. The other one is Sean Darcy, of course. A lot of people did that and have the thought of moving him forward and getting Grundy back. So
with the value that we're about to talk about in our forward line, Darcy could nearly go.
He could.
You could
he
go.
Only scored 64 on the weekend.
And that's it.
That was against Grundy, obviously.
So you need about 100K to get Darcy up to Grundy.
Yes.
But you'll save yourself 50K by going Darcy down to Danger. Or even 100K to go to Pendles. Like, there's a lot of money there. And we always talk about, we don't have the rookies coming through, the cash generation
It's
isn't...
a way to do it.
Well, you pocket an easy 100K, Darcy to Danger, Darcy to Pendles, and what difference will they be in their output?
Yeah.
They'll be very similar.
But if you've got Darcy in the ruck, though, you've got to be going up to...
Yes, agree.
So it's what you're doing with that other move is the interesting one.
Yes. So... let's have a look at these forwards then.
All right, forwards. So you've just talked about Danger and Pendles there.
So Pendles, great pick last week. He had an 85.
Number one premium pick last week.
Yeah, 85. Very handball happy.
Yeah, well, that's it. That could have been 100.
Yep.
And no one would have... A few people were whinging about an 85.
Yep, and that's
He's a
okay.
forward.
And that's okay.
Still going to average 95 plus for the rest of the year.
He's not going to score what Kelly and Zorko are going to get. But they are 200K more.
Yeah.
Right? That's the difference.
It's a stock market game, Cal.
It is. So, would you consider him, Dangerfield, 642? He's 40K more than Pendles.
Yep.
94 last week. I can't have Gaff in my team because of the trauma he has caused me in the past, and Danger's in the exact same boat.
Yeah.
Okay, I just can't go through it again because I know what he'll do. He'll start really well. He'll pump out a 94 like he did on the weekend. You're like, yeah, now's the time, right? Now is the time to get him in. And then he'll fake an ankle injury. He'll fake something and he's done.
He'll be right. 8 weeks he's got to push through now.
I don't think he can do it.
So who would you be picking out of Danger and Pendles?
I would be going Pendles.
Oh, well, according to your rolling 22, you 100% would.
I would, just because the role was there for Pendles.
Yeah.
He played so much mid-time, it's not funny.
Yeah.
Now, I reckon when the DeGoat comes back this week, and the DeGoat will get a little bit more mid-time, that's when Pendles drops to the half-back.
So then here's the thing, DeGoat at 5.15.
Oh, we're not,
So you can save 80K from Pendles.
Wow. He's so cheap.
He is. So he's got a break-even of 34, so price is going up. May not be a keeper for you, but you can ride him as your F6 if that's where he ends up being for quite a long time, especially if he's pumping out. So his last 3 scores are 109, 78 and 106. And that is from being a mid.
I know. New coach, though. This Harvey doesn't like goats in the midfield. I reckon he puts him...
But look at these players at the moment. The other one like that as well, similar price actually, is Stringer. These are the types of players that are dominating June footy, aren't they?
I'm worried.
This is their footy.
If you get a guy like DeGoat in, you bring DeGoat in this week, right?
DeGoey for anyone that hasn't picked up.
Yeah.
That's what
you're stuck with him. He's there for the rest of the season. This is a long...
But F6...
This is a long-term decision.
When we're doing our rolling 22s there, how confident were you with your 6?
Oh, no, that's a good point. I wasn't. I didn't hear Phillips' name pop up in it. So
well, you're moving him, obviously.
Well, that's it.
But that's the thing. Phillips to De Goat costs you nothing.
Yeah, it actually costs you $6,000.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you're going, if you were going from here on, you would prefer De Goat in your team than Phillips. So if you're in a position where you're not needing to make money or do anything, that's a perfect sideways trade.
Agree. You don't see Phillips pumping out tons.
No.
Phillips limps to 50s. And
So I
that's,
think, yeah.
so I don't mind that. You could bring the GOAT in. Dusty's still cheap.
Dusty's $6.29.
$6.29.
So he's in that mix with the Pendles and Danger.
Yeah.
Is he behind both of those guys?
Oh, it's so hard to call. I'd have Pendles clearly in front.
Yep.
Okay, I think Pendles will score more from here on in.
Yep.
Yeah, he
Dusty
probably
still
is.
scored well on the weekend, even though they lost. They're not going to lose too many games, really.
You
are
wouldn't
they?
know. He should come strong from here on in.
And
but
he's a second half of the season campaigner.
yeah, you probably have it. You probably have that order being Pendles, Danger, Dusty. To be honest,
Yeah.
and there's not much of a price difference between them.
No. With De Goat, $5.15. You've got Stringer at $5.26. He's in some form. You're going De Goat over Stringer.
I'm taking the GOAT. I can't believe I said that, but I'm not.
Stringer is, as I said, this is their football time at the moment. June, July, winter. Everyone slows down. That little bit of extra packing on there can
It helps
help.
him, you reckon?
Yep. The other one there is Matt Kennedy at $5.07. So he's
I've seen
come
his
back
name.
into the team.
People are bringing him in.
Like he was out for a significant stretch there. So he's in, had 110 last week, 93 this week, break even of 52. Mm-hmm. It's just not a sexy name.
No,
the role is there
far
for him.
from sexy. I'll give you up
but
to.
yeah, I don't know. That's yeah.
Yeah, look, it's a no. It's a no on Matt Kennedy. So anyone that asks me that, but the GOAT
De Goat.
is a legit play.
De Goat is a option for this week.
Yes.
I'd be all over getting him.
Are you having a look at it?
Getting him back. Maybe next week, actually, because, well, let's talk our trades. What have you thought of doing this week?
Okay, so Phillips goes for me. That's
Yep.
Tom Phillips. And I can basically do a whole bunch of different things with him. I've
Yes.
looked at a Sam Walsh, just with their run coming up. And I've also looked at Danger.
Yeah,
But I've just glanced. It's been a really quick
Save
passing
the money and go to
glance.
De Goat then.
Well, then there's the other one. Like, I've got coin there to go, but I want to
Then you
be...
can get old mate Grundy back at some
For
point.
who? Who would I get out to get Grundy back?
Oh, well, one of your defenders so you can move big boy into the back line.
Yeah, well, that's it. I'm not getting rid of McElroy. He's there all year, mate. Don't you worry about that.
You definitely want him to play us through. Well,
He's
I'm getting in Grundy. Do you know how I'm doing it?
Oh, God, here we go. Go.
Right, so Phillips goes.
Okay.
Tick.
Yeah.
The other one that's going for me to facilitate this trade is Nick Hind, who's only been pumping 70. He's had a 50 on the weekend.
Right, okay.
So if I thought that Nick Hind, round 1, would be in my team at round 15, I would have thought, oh, geez, he's overperformed then, which he
Yep.
has done. But he's
Okay.
slowed down a lot. So I can do it with that move. It means, though, my F6 would need to be...
Goat.
No, lower.
Oh, my God.
Paddy Dow.
What? You sicko!
Oh, no.
What's wrong
He's
with
only
you?
$300K. He's less than what I bought him for at the start of
Dog,
the season.
no.
He had a 77. He looked a lot better.
He played
He
Adelaide.
looked competent.
No, I will not sit here on
It gets
Thursday.
me Grundy. I'm playing a Marty as my bloody...
I don't care if it gives you the rash you got last year, but you're not doing it.
Why not?
Nah.
Oh, well, it is Monday. That's rage. But no, seriously, I need Grundy.
I understand that, but not at the cost of fielding Paddy Dow.
Jeez, I fielded him for a few weeks early.
No.
No.
Cross that off your list. Not happening.
Got a question for the traders? Tweet the boys at AFL Fantasy or head to facebook.com/AFL Fantasy Official.
Tweet, Cal.
I'm just wondering if Heppel has hurt Hind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it definitely has.
And Ridley's back as well. Ridley was
Yeah.
good on the weekend. He's had a couple of good games now,
So
Riddles.
Nick Hind last week, 1 mark.
Yeah.
Heppel,
He's still playing
Takes
in the
10.
back line watching it.
Takes 10, Ridley takes 6. Anyway, maybe it is time.
Because there was the risk that he was sitting up on the forward a bit more or on a wing. I don't know, yeah. It's not a bad move getting rid of those two, though, is it,
But
Cal?
you're bringing in Paddy Dow. Get on with the questions.
All right.
I can't handle any more Paddy Dow talk.
I know. I thought we'd pack that up in
So
about
did
round
I.
5, but anyway,
It's
you could be back.
How the hell has it come back?
Because he's back in the team. He scored 77.
God, he's back in the team. Oh, my God. Right.
All right, here we go. Miller time. This is probably a very good question here. Upgrade Rooks or bring in Grundy? So, priorities. Okay. So, I can upgrade my last rookie, which is Tracy, to 522, looking at DeGoat, or even Matt Kennedy as a stepping stone.
Okay.
Couple of good names there. We talked about them, Cal.
Yep,
Must
we're
be
on the
doing
money.
something right.
Yeah, on the money.
Now, or do you sell Darcy for Grundy? Was it a one-off for Darcy? Do we get off now and jump on the Grundy Express?
So,
how important is it to have Grundy?
I think it's important. I think you need it. Look, the thing is, though, Grundy and Max Gawn are by far the hardest for Ruckman to play.
Yes.
So you can look past that score that he
it was
had.
a one-off for Darcy.
It was a one-off.
Yep.
He's been so good.
Yeah.
But he could be doing that in your forward line.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Okay. So you would prefer to go Tracy to DeGoat. Tracy doesn't score a lot.
No, that's got to be fixed.
Yep.
And that's where I thought
Last
I was...
rookie, how nice would that be?
Yeah, but...
DeGoat there at F6.
But once again, I'm going to send a clear message to everyone here.
Right.
Listen to this. I don't care that people are getting rid of their rookies off the field and they go, I've got no rookies
Yes,
left.
right. You did try to talk to me about this before,
but you're
it
probably,
didn't make much sense.
But if you're still playing Phillips, that might as well be a rookie. So when people go, this is how my team looks, just tell me your 3 worst players.
Yep.
Okay?
Well, mine are rookies.
Well, there you go. Okay, but your team can be complete. Like everyone goes, my team's complete. I've got all the rookies off the field, right? But you're still probably hobbling through like
Yeah, but if you're complete, then you get to do these moves like the Phillips to DeGoey for sweet FA coin.
Yes, agree.
And that's nice to do.
But then now you've got DeGoat, or you've got Paddy Dow, or
But you
you've
don't
got
have Phillips.
Yeah, but you also don't have any rookies.
Yeah. Well, I'd be treating Paddy Dow as a rookie.
Yes, agree. But what I'm saying is people don't.
But then I get Grundy.
Yeah.
And not play a Marty for 30.
Well, here's the thing. Let's have a quick chat about Amati. Now, that was a tough matchup for him.
Yes.
Okay, he had Aliir on him for the majority of the time when he wasn't in the ruck.
Mm-hmm.
It was not a great matchup. He will be better than that.
Yeah.
Okay. However, as you said before, every time he has a game like this, his job security just diminishes.
Yep.
So if you are playing him on the field like I am, I thought I could get a couple of weeks out of him.
Mm-hmm.
My fingers are still crossed that might be the case, but it might not as well. So just want to be very careful with him.
Okay, Zach, one trade left for this weekend with $405,000. Do I trade Poulter to Oliver? That's nice. Or keep the cash downgrade and downgrade a bench option and then trade Highmore to Oliver next week. So basically, it's Poulter to Oliver this week or trade Highmore next week to Oliver. And then Rob goes to Grundy in that move as well.
I like that's a great move. I'm not sure.
You can think 2 weeks ahead.
You can. I'm not sure if Oliver's the man though. Like he hasn't turned up in these last 2.
Yeah,
he's been.
But then you're still going to have lots of other options. If Oliver, you wouldn't probably pick Oliver this week. That's why you could wait on him next week, and there might be a better option or another option.
Yeah, I think so. And if Neil comes back, if Neil looks really good after injuring his show, he's going to be fine. But the problem is. Oliver could cop the De Boer tag this week.
Yeah.
So
the thing, my brain would be going, hold that cash for next week. You're getting Highmore, who's got another week of cash generation.
Yes.
Get him for a premium midfielder, and then Riley O'Brien to Grundy. That would be nice. Poulter, it would be nice to move this week because he's had a crap score.
Yep.
But he should stay in the side.
So, Highmore, break even of 21. He went up 35K.
Yeah.
Okay, so give him a couple of more weeks, and he'll push you up into the 450 area, and then he can go. Yeah.
John wants to know, hey, legends, with Sloane potentially out for the season and the Crows' tough run shown in Cal's scale of hardness. Jeez, the pressure's on you now.
Oh, yeah.
Will Laird's score be affected positively, more possessions up for grabs, or negatively because he could be a tag choice now, or the first tag choice? And And also, following that, can we get an update of Calvin's grass? How is your grass during the
grass? I haven't mowed it for a very long time.
Yeah, mine's long at the moment. It's been too wet.
Yeah, it's good. So let's talk about
Lairdy.
Okay.
So Sloane, that probably should have been a bit of news, but I missed that one.
He's
hurt his finger.
Yeah.
Sounds like it could be even, could be bad. He has odd injuries.
So Laird has played games this year where he has been tagged and he still gets the job done. Coming up in the next few weeks, he does not really play anyone who would put any time into him.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking here. He's got Brisbane, Essendon, West Coast, Bulldogs. There's no tags coming there. So yes, he's right. There is a concern that he does go up the tag order.
Attention order.
But it's not really going to bother him. Right. So, I am 100% fine with that. In fact, Laird this week, he's going to be awesome. So I would not hesitate about that at all.
Okay, nice. So Ben is asking this one. This stage of the season, should we be prioritising points on field or maximising salary? So probably the question that is, you want points on field. Like that should be priority number one. But is it also getting on the cash cows and all that sort of stuff?
You still need those guys. Yeah. But at the end what's the aim of the game?
We've got 8 rounds left as well.
Just score as many points as you can, and you need them on the field.
So Ben's question follows that up with, that being said, who would you trade out of Hind and Phillips? It's Phillips first, even though Hind is worth 100 and so K more.
Yeah.
So they both scored around the same this week, Cow.
Yeah, and that's
that
where
money investment, that's where the question is.
And that's where he's thinking. So Hind is at 607.
Yep.
Okay, and Phillips is, as you said, exactly about 100K less.
Both have done the last month.
Yep.
You're probably going to get a similar output.
So Hind has averaged 63 and he's 69
so as
in his
I said,
last
70s.
Yeah.
You don't listen to me, do you?
No, very rarely.
It depends on who you're getting to. That's going to be my thing.
Yes. It better be a big boy.
Yep.
I don't mind him going, if he can get Hind to someone that he really likes, I don't mind going early on that, because old mate Hind, he's starting to bleed cash now. He's dropped about 50K in the last 3 weeks, 30 this week. So it's only going to be more and more and more as we go. And, so I'd say you can go early on Hind. He's got to break even at 121.
Yeah.
He's got to keep bleeding cash.
Connor's got a bit of a Hind-related question here. 2-part question. Is Lloyd okay to stay for a couple more weeks? Yeah, I think he can. Yeah, I think you need to. And who would you upgrade? So if you're saying Lloyd's going to stay, which I think you need to, upgrade Riley O'Brien to Grundy or Hind to Neil?
Okay, I can see where this is going.
Wow. That's a tough one.
That's a tough one. I'm just saying,
sliding. Riley O'Brien's doing what he needs to.
Okay, is Neil a top 8 midfielder?
Close.
We didn't have him anywhere on our list.
No.
You've got to do the Grundy.
Yeah.
I think you do the Grundy.
Is Riley O'Brien closer
than what Hind is to Neil? Yeah. But the thing is with Neil, is he okay? That's the biggest question here. Because if Neil had not had an issue with his shoulder, I'd say, yes, go and do it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying no to any Neil trade this week until we've seen something.
Yeah.
So I'm saying Riley O'Brien can go to Grundy and enjoy. Done.
Mark, if you're sitting around 3,500 in the ranking, hey, we're buddies around there. Is it time to bring in the wild bunch to Goat and Stringer this week and enjoy the ride, assuming they're going to average 100 plus, both 100% fit, and won't get injured or reported or do any undisciplined act? Jeez, wowee.
A lot of ifs in there,
lot of
isn't
ifs
there?
for those two blokes, but you could. You definitely could. So that's a Hind. Okay, here's a question.
Okay.
Hind and Phillips.
Yep.
Stringer to Goey. Who scores more for the rest of the year?
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I hear you.
Stringer to Goey, and probably by a margin.
A margin?
They can both average 100.
What?
Phillips.
No.
Stringer.
No, the GOAT is not averaging 100 from here on in. Oh, you've lost your bloody mind. There is no way.
Okay, 90 then.
I'll scoff at that.
He will average 90.
He won't average 90.
He's got 2 tons in his last 3.
I get that. I'm glad you've dropped it from 100 to 90. I'll give him I'd give him a good mid-80.
Him and String Trick could go and do 90s each.
Wow, Stringer.
And then it's 70s each at best for Phillips. Hind could be a little bit more, but let's call it 70s each.
Yep.
So maths on that, cow.
Yeah,
that's 40 points a week for banking cash.
And I loved what he said there. He's in for a journey.
Yeah, that's it, and it's fun.
Is it?
If you're at 3,500, do some fun moves like that.
Yeah, all right, I'll tick it off.
But it could still win your bloody league premierships.
Definitely could.
Or make you a laughing stock of your league when they rock up and do what they often do. Logan, Pendles, Danger or Dusty, did we rank them? I think we did.
We did. We had them in Pendles, Danger
then
and Dusty.
It's a blanket, though, a bit.
Agree.
It's not a definitive answer.
Agree.
Next one, Riley O'Brien to Grundy.
Yep. Hearing that a lot today.
So it's yes, but if you're in these positions like this one, Cox and Bianco, so you're playing those sorts of dudes.
Yeah.
To Zorko.
Oh.
You might as well keep playing Riley O'Brien.
Yeah.
As much as we want Grundy in our teams.
He had 93 on the weekend.
Yeah, I think I would prefer to do that.
Now, Grundy only outscored him by a handful.
Yeah.
Yeah, agree.
Like Brady's got a similar one. Phillips to Dangerfield or Riley O'Brien to Grundy? It's Phillips to Dangerfield.
The gap, the points difference between those two is more significant.
Yep. And
who do you like?
You don't
more?
even have Grundy as your number one ruck.
No, Max Gorn's still there, dog. I don't know why you hate Max all of a sudden.
No, I don't. I like Max.
He did score 97 on the weekend. That's not enough. But
he was lucky to get to 97 too, just quietly.
Yeah, right.
All right, Billings, what do you do? Keep or trade? Well, they said he's going to be back this week, so if you held him, obviously, you didn't have much time to make any decisions on that on Friday night either. So I would hold if you've got him. He's got that forward status, so
yep.
He's another one. He could have been in the mix for the forwards.
He could have been, but he's not.
All right, okay, here's one. Flicking the positions now, Cow.
Okay.
To Goat or Nick Haynes?
Oh, jeez.
Nick Haynes costs you $50K more, I think it is, or approximately that.
I'm still Nick Haynes.
Yep.
And his brother Jared.
Yeah.
I'm not going. Oh, look, the GOAT interests me.
Yeah.
Okay.
As he should.
And I understand he is coming back to play in the midfield.
Yeah.
Let's make no mistake about that. The role is there for the GOAT.
Yes.
There's just something that it doesn't sit well with me. But he is a legit play.
Okay.
Like you could go Nick Hind down to the GOAT, right?
You could.
And that's about 80K in your pocket.
Okay, last couple of questions here. Someone 05, Sharp and Ridley or Matt Kennedy and Ridley? So basically Ridley. And so who are you getting, Sharp or Matt Kennedy? Well, Matt Kennedy probably will score more, but there's obviously a significant price difference there, 250K.
Yeah. You're going Sharp over Kennedy.
Yeah.
Just because of
Sharp.
the 250K.
Yeah.
Yep. That's an easy one.
Yep. All right. This one comes from last couple of Cal. See if I can find a good one.
Kennedy or GOAT?
You got to go the GOAT.
I think you'd go the GOAT, yeah. I can't believe we're still talking about the GOAT.
I know. You'll get him.
I'm going to bring him in this week just to join in the fun. Have you still got the GOAT?
No, and I traded him. I wish I still had him because he got suspended. He was suspended this week.
Oh, dear.
Which is obviously a GOAT thing to do.
Yes.
Callan, Neil or Zorko?
Neil or
Zorko?
You've got to go Zork. Oh, and the fact he's got forward status only makes that a little bit more
obviously it's a bit
enticing.
more coin, but
Yep.
I think you need to do that. He's trading out Harms fine if it's for a premium, like Lockie Neal.
So that's an interesting one, isn't it? Because that Harms actually hasn't done much wrong. So he's had an 82 on the weekend. He's averaging 85 for the year. But I guess, is he in your team for the rest of the year? Probably not. You can look to move on guys like this.
Yeah.
Okay, break even of 85. His price is where he is. So I guess if you can move to a bigger player, then that's exactly something you could be doing.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't mind that at all.
I've had enough.
Yes.
We've worked overtime because we've gone longer with less people.
I know.
We normally would.
I tried to stay a bit more switched on today.
You have, actually.
Yeah.
I'll give you, this has probably been one of your better performances for the year.
Yeah.
Because
I tend
the bar
not
has
off.
been low for that.
Yeah, I tend to nod off at the end of these.
What is good, we've done this before lunch today.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes you're a bit full of your nice little wrap that you have.
can't believe that place is not open anymore.
Yeah, they've got winter trading hours, no Mondays.
Oh. Anyway, we'll find a new venue, dog.
We'll try to. All right, thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you Thursday night. Make sure you tune into that Thursday night live from 6:15 as we get ready for round 16. Obviously, big things with that Thursday night game, Richmond and Gold Coast, 7:20. So make sure your thinking's there to get your teams locked in for that. All right. Hopefully Roy's here as well.
Right, let's go get lunch.
See ya.